Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. But before I go ahead and do that, I do want to note, just like what Okpuck said to the left there, this is a decapitation match, which means even if a comm is destroyed, that player is not de facto out of the game, they can still play until all of the comms on one team have been destroyed. So again, no one's out of it just yet if they die, but it is a thing we're going to be tracking nonetheless. We will start with introductions with Team 1 on the northeastern side, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southwestern side of the map. Lots of hearts all around the map. Starting off with Team 1 southeastern player, we have in Lightotan, it is zwierzak playing as an Aeon. He is a 1900. Moving on northwestwardly, we have in Imperial Gray, joining him in the Aeon faction, it is Yojih. He is a 2200. He is the highest rated player on Team 1, and he's also the highest rated player overall. Rounding off Team 1's front, we have as a third Aeon, it is Puck Jr. in Regal Purple. He is an 1800. Who is northeast, we have in Blood Angel Red, it is SPCR playing as a Seraphim, breaking the mold for Team 1. He is a 1400. And joining him in that backline as a Seraphim as well, it is the Barbie Pink player of Psychoad. He is a 1700. So again, Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 Aeon on the front line, and then 2 Seraphim in the back line. No UEF and no Cybran tech for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2 side of the map with the Chevy Crimson player, of Okpuck. He is a 1900. He is playing as an Aeon. He is a, again, 1900. In Forest Green, we have to his southeast, we have the Seraphim of ObliiLaCybrance, of course, the best color. Of course, he is a 2100. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. And rounding out the Team 2's front line, we have an orange color orange. So far, a different faction has appeared. It is Eco Player 7 playing as a UEF. He is an 1800. In the back line, crossing that little section of water there, it is MSG. He is a UEF as well in Pac-Man Yellow. He is an 1800. And then the rounding off Team 2 in Tropical Ocean Blue, we have another UEF for Team 2. He's over here. It is Clinch. He is a 1400, again, a UEF. So for Team 2 side of the map for the faction makeup, they have 2 UEF in the backline within, again, a tertiary one to the right there of Eco Player. And then we have 1 Seraphim in the middle and then 1 Aeon to the left there. So for Team 1 side of the map, again, 3 Aeon to Seraphim. Team 1, it is 3 UEF, no Cybrans, and then 1 Aeon and 1 Seraphim, which means there are no Cybran players. Apologies to those spiky space socialists. Hopefully you enjoyed the game nonetheless. And I think it's been a minute since we've had Cybran not be present in a game. So apologies to those who like Cybrans. They're not here, but hopefully you enjoy, like I said. And let's take a look at where these players are headed off to. Right now, it looks like there's 2 main lanes on this map. There's the right lane and the left lane, or west or east. Looks like there's going to be 3 players from Team 2 headed westwardly and 2 players from Team 1 headed westwardly. So it's a favor for Team 2 that away. And then for Team 1, it looks... Well, actually, no, scratch that. It looks like SPCR is heading westward. So no, it's going to be 3v3 over here. And then it's going to be 2v2. Oh, sorry, that is a 2. 2v2 on the eastern side. So no advantage one way or the other. Very much a balanced game. Again, 1800 roughly. I think the actual average is like 17.7 something. So pretty high average. The lowest rated player is a 1400. Highest rated player is a 2200. Take a look at the additional mexes on the map. A lot of the additional mexes for both teams are going to come from the western side for Team 2 and then the eastern side for Team 1. So that side of the map is going to have a little bit more eco to play with, and then that western side is going to have a little bit more eco to play with. So we actually might see kind of a favoring for Team 2 this way and a favoring for Team 1 this way, just because of the additional mexes on that side. Not to say there are other mexes on the map as well. We'll see on Team 1 side of the map a Trimex, a Twin Mex over here, and then, was that a Twin Mex up there? It's a Twin Mex up there on that nice little plateau. And on the eastern side, besides that, we do see, some mexes up here on that plateau. Looks like Team 2 is invading that right now. I don't think it'll stay there too long in favor for Team 2 because it is pretty close to zwierzak's front line and his base. But Team 2 will probably hold that at least for a little bit. And again, these corners of the map are kind of just not debunked for the most part. I mean, we're seeing some action there on that northwestern side, but there's really not a whole lot there to really utilize in terms of map. It just exists. It's better than some maps where there's just a corner of the map that has absolutely nothing to it. This map at least has, you know, some value to it in terms of the mexes. And I completely forgot about the reclaim. They probably scooped up most of it at this point. There's still 16,000 mass on the map for 10 players, which makes it out to about 1.6k mass. Let's say there was maybe 20,000 mass, and we'll make it 2k mass total. I mean, somebody will probably can look up the replay and give me the exact total in the comments, which doesn't help now, but it might help somebody later. But again, decent amount of reclaim on the map, decent amount of mexes on the map. And let's take a look at this. Continuing pushing front line for Team 2. Triple comm. We have Okpuck, we have Obli, and Clinch. One of each of the factions for Team 2 over here, just pushing back the Aeon and a smidgen of Seraphim front line. And we have massive amounts of units from Obli pushing. He has a gun online as well. That's really kind of leading this push. We actually see over here Psychoads over here, so technically it's actually a 2v3 in favor for Team 2. And with that eco advantage, they're pushing heavily on that side of the map. We do see T2 started for MSG. Gun is done for eco player. We have gun speed started for zwierzak, and we have Yojih with gun speed and range, or slash range, I should say, on board. Because, again, there's 2 different upgrades for the Aeons and 1 upgrade for everybody else. In terms of factions, we do see a little contingent of the unit up here. Nothing too crazy. Eco situation is going to be favoring Team 2 just because this western side is falling apart, at least as of right now. So just favoring that side of the map for Team 2. And, of course, we do see a little bit of stealing of Team 1's mexes over there as well. We do see Psychoed's probably going to push this back here pretty quickly. He's kind of doing it a little bit slowly. He's not wanting to push too far in too quickly, especially with his comm kind of isolated over there to the northwest. We do see T2 land and T2 air is online for Team 1, almost done for T3 for SPCR. Team 2, T3 is started at least, and then maybe we'll see a secondary player for air out of MSG. So at least 1 for each, maybe a secondary one. Maybe it is a 5v5 game. It is a decapitation match again, so even if players die, it is not the end of the world. It can be the end of the world if they choose to, but it's not necessarily guaranteed like it is in other games. And I do like this kind of, you know, bar situation where players can use their comms a little bit more aggressively and not feel the dread that comes from I might die and might be kicked out of the game, or at least severely limited in the game. But then there are some players that are like, well, you could do some cheeky things and stuff like that. And I get, like, there's arguments for and against on both sides, and I do see it from both sides. I like the a little bit more weirder, aggressive plays that we see with this ability to just, I can send my comment, and if I die, I die. I can still play kind of thing. T2 almost done for MSG. He might go for gun. I mean, there's a large group of T1 forces here for Eco. He might actually just stay with the T2 upgrade and maybe build some PD, you know, kind of here. Maybe he'll go over there, maybe not. We probably won't see Navy in the middle of the map. It's too small of a pond. There's already units kind of surrounding it from pretty much both teams. Hover tech on both sides of the map there. Gun started for Clinch. That's for Team 2's player. Almost said it was Team 1's just because he's on the northern side. Gun started for SPCR. He is the air player. Moving in over here, it's because, again, there is 3 comms. There were 3 comms there for Team 2. There's actually Obli sending his comms southward, maybe to intercept Yojih. We are seeing a little bit more entanglements happening. We have zwierzak with the Aeon Sniper mini tank combo online. Eco only has gun. He does have 1 star. He'll probably get 2 stars, most likely. And again, as a reminder, the Aeons have the advantage of having a little bit more range on their comm. Currently, they're not within that kind of a Goldilocks zone of being in range of the comm in this example for Eco player, but not being able to be shot at by him. So far, Eco is kind of just within that, well, more than minimum distance. And then you can see, as some examples, where Zach can still target him a little bit more, even though, again, his Omni's not that fully in range that he would like to get all the way out to, you know, the attack range. He can still fire as long as he has somewhat of an idea of where that comm is. We do see T2 PD being built as a fallback position for Ego. He didn't take a lot of, honestly, he didn't take a lot of damage as much as I really thought. We do see Harbingers are online, so Team 1 has T3 Land Tech online. We do see the comm of Oblies over here. Looks like maybe somebody sees them. That's what Team 2 can see. They do see some units are over there. Nothing too defined. Team 1, they know where this comm is, and they know where, well, they know there's 2 comms most likely down there. And they, of course, they were aware of Obli's gun a while ago, so. We do see a missile outbound, not from Okpuck's comm, because he is Aeon, but he does have a nice little Serpentine T2 tactical missile launcher. Looks like going after some mexes for Puck Jr. We are at 12 minutes on the clock, closing in on 13. Eco still in favor for Team 2. Now it's about 100 or so. Percentage-wise, I mean, it's 25% more Eco. So theoretically, 25% more units, 25% more upgrades, 25% more all of the other things. Not exactly how that works, but theoretically, that's how that works. Psycho Ed, he's again pushing him with gun. Does have to be careful then, because again, Team 2, once they see his comm, he might just get focused down. And we do see, I think, Clinch is falling back underneath shield. Okpuck still assisting the missile launcher. We do see now 2 comms from Team 1. Looks like they're going to move into intercept Obli. He's going, I would assume, for the not advanced now, but the regular, maybe regular nano. Maybe he's going for the regen aura. Is it the central one? I think it is sometimes it's hard to tell. I think it is that central one, so that would be nano. So it is Yojih versus Obli. A 1-star veterancy for him. It's going to favor him in terms of hit points, total, and regen. Actually, no, it's exactly even because they both have 1 veterancy. We do see in the southeast, we do see Eco player now getting some assistance from MSG's comms. Zwierzak still coming in with the advanced advanced range and the shield. We do see again Harbingers, very good unit to deal with Team 1 and T2 spam, at least the weaker T2 spam in the kind of a blazes, Riptides kind of department. Not necessarily the Ilshis and the Obsidians, at least in larger numbers. Looks like Obli does fall into the yellow. Same with SPCR, but that's again partially because it was 2v1ing for at least a little bit. Might get hit by some bombers. We do see again Psycho Ed has been spotted by Team 2. He's not going to be a nice little sneaky attack against Okpuck and Clinch's position. In terms of air, Team 2 again does have T3 air online. No additional air yet. Team 1, no additional air. T2 air, so maybe we'll see some gunships, some nice little Volthu gunships. Advanced range maybe gonna show up for Puck Jr. He is gonna go for it, okay. He is heavily damaged, though. He might go for shield after that. Nano repair was the one that was being built. He's gonna be restarting that upgrade now. He is gonna need some PD coverage. Harbingers are pushing in. They're actually trying to, again, run by Team 2's forces. And they really don't have much to stop this. Again, couple of Riptides to help a little bit. Bombers to help out a little bit. Shields are not going to pop online for that Harbinger. That's going to help out a little bit with a little bit of firepower now down. They really need to focus fire, which they're doing. And they're going to get probably 1 more Harbinger, maybe. Nah. No, that one actually might die by the fire. No, actually gets a little bit of veterancy and will stay alive. And now the main production facility, at least closer to the front line, is being hit for EcoPlayer, which is going to hurt his resupply efforts on that front line. Kind of not necessarily isolating that side of the map, but it's going to be a big gap of nothing from units. And we see another Harbinger group inbound. Percy's are online. Again, this amount of Harbingers not going to be realistically worth it, but it will slow down a little bit of firepower from Team 1. Shot will not kill off the Harbinger because, again, it has that 3-star vet. Harbinger is down. Another Percy is built off that assembly line, and those forces are continuing to push in. This might help bridge the gap with the Eco a little bit. Team 1 is catching up a little bit more. Team 2 still has that plateau over there to the east, and I'm talking very, very quickly, and it's still at 0 speed. Psycho Ed and Okpuck are engaging over there to the west. They kind of keep tabs on that a little bit. Harbinger's still pushing in. T2 air is online, and Harbingers are slowly being whittled down. Looks like maybe T2 mexes are being targeted. That's going to be the focus. Might grab the E storage there a little bit. That's going to cause a nice little explosion. 1 Harbinger remains. If shield actually pops online, I mean, just a couple of shots to blow that up. That would drive at least the power down a little bit for Team 2's Eco player, but no. We do see actually an Ilshi on the western side kills off a couple of mexes there for, what was that, Okpuck? Shield has started here now for Puck Jr. They're still thinking about it. They're still thinking about it over there. We do see SPCRs over here now. So we have 3 players for Team 1. Now it's 2 players for Team 2 with, again, Obli now down here engaging. Zwierzak's com again. Still able to shoot at Zwierzak's com. Some of the shots are landing. Some of them are not. Overcharge comes in. Does hit him for a little bit more damage. He has 76 hit points a second regen. He is against Seraphim, so they can get pretty tanky. So he definitely wants to stay alive a little bit longer, especially for that advanced nano upgrade. Harbingers have landed on the plateau. We have T2 artillery being built. Team 1 TPD going to be trying to be spammed up. Shield is down. Team D is falling offline. Engineers might get 1 PD built. It's not going to stop all of this aggression, though. Team 1 PD is going to get maybe focused. Harbinger is going to get another bout of reinforcements. Is it bout of reinforcements? Bit of reinforcements? Something like that. Bombers are inbound to kind of quell that a little bit. But that front line kind of artillery within range issue has been dealt with. Team 2 is not going to lose this just yet. But they've lost that kind of, slowly bombarding Team 1's position on that side of the map. Lots of stuff has kicked off. Looks like it's simmering down a little bit. Looks like Psychoad's starting to go around that little plateau there. We do see engagements here. And now we have zwierzak outnumbered. Again, a couple of Othams here. And looks like gets some veterancy there to get back up into the Fulgrim. We have Yojih over here. Overcharge comes out. Where was that overcharge going? I have no idea. Looks like it tried to hit the comm and just went, nope, not going to the water. Bye. It was hydrophobic. And went, nope. This is where Cybrance would come in handy for either team, given the brick has torpedoes on board. To be fair, both teams have access to Seraphim Tech, and the Othams also have torpedoes on board. We even have a torp launcher here from Obli, so it's going to keep zwierzak out of the water for now. But it is one of those things. It would be, again, nice to have. The bricks have the added benefit of having torp defense as well as torpedoes. The Othams, I believe, they only have torpedoes. So all offense, no defense versus more of a offense and defensive situation. We have Clinch moving in with shield and gun. Again, Psychoad's almost nano and gun comm. And getting hit a little bit by those Yenzine. He is focusing the comm. The comm is going to ridge to the spot. The upgrade is going to finish. A couple of missile launchers are really nailing that comm, and the shields are dropping. Not at a good rate here for Clinch. He is at 3-star vet, though. He just recently got to that. Looks like his shield will barely hold. Yeah. Nothing too crazy, though. He did push in. He killed a couple of units off, but didn't stop the upgrade, which is really what he wanted, I'd imagine. Almost 20 minutes on the clock. Team 2 and Team 1 about same amount of eco. That kind of Russian straight through the center of the map, roughly, from Yojih, plus a couple of raids from an Ilshi from Team 1's Psychoad helped kind of even out the eco a little bit. We have shield started here for eco player over there to the east. And again, Team 2's Okpuck just really wants that hydrocarbon. Well, technically it's Clinch's, but really wants that one particular hydrocarbon. And it's keeping their front line very much up here, where you would kind of expect it to be more here, which we see over here on the eastern side. Very roughly similar situation there. So they have a little bit more mass in their favor, and of course the plateau that they want to keep. But I don't think eventually that's going to be there long term. We already had Harbingers come in to say hi. We have Volters over here going after T3 land headquarters, which are being repaired a decent rate. It's going to get maybe a couple of skyboxers online. They targeted the T3 one just to prevent the construction of flak and everything else here. We have T1 AA being built just a little bit further away. But now that the T3 facility is down, it's just T1s, and that's going to be dealt with here really quickly. Looks like the air fight went Team 1's way. Nothing too crazy, though. It was about maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 for both teams, maybe a little bit more. I think maybe about a dozen or so for Team 1. So not a big lead, but it is a lead, and a little bit can snowball into a lot of it. So definitely a concerning thing as the game rages on. Nobody has died at 21 minutes. We love to see no death, and especially in a decapitation. Again, what I mentioned earlier, players can be a little bit more aggressive with their commanders. Speaking of which, we do see in the east, zwierzak up here, facing off against 4 Perseus. Again, staying out of range of the Perseus. He gets another kill. He's up to 4-star vet. He has a T2 triad just nailing the side of his comm there. Not great there. But look at that. Overcharge kills off almost another Percy's hit points. We have Harbingers inbound. And again, it isolates him on that plateau. So Team 2 knows where he is, and he can't really go very far. But he gets that extra veterancy that he wanted. He's almost at 5-star vet now. So he might be a little bit more cautious with his comm once he gets that 5 stars. And he's able to push that plateau and maybe get some more mexes under his control. And we do see, of course, Percy's are pushing in heavily, and he has some gunship assistance from his nice little friendly neighborhood air player of SPCR. We have mexes being taken offline, T1s and T2s. These probably were T2s, and then they got destroyed at some point. The Percy's might be a key for Team 2 winning the match, at least on the ground, just because, again, big gun do a lot of damage all at once, all that alpha damage coming into play. But again, you just got to keep the units online. If the units not online because they get overwhelmed, then they don't really work out. T1 PD going to be actually kind of nice here because, again, lots of shots raining in. The pitfalls of the Percy is just they are a little slower, and they can get easily overwhelmed by a bunch of forces just like that because they don't have a good fire rate. Again, you trade damage for fire rate. That's kind of what you do in this game. For the most part. Not always, but for the most part. Oblii's being hit by some gunships. It's a little bit of a concern. He has nano. He has a little bit of time. Air needs to respond probably about now, just to be able to fly over there to kill off the gunships. We do see ASFs are in the area. I don't know if they had a fight, but the ASFs from Team 1 are actually down here, guarding another set of gunships. So they're going to protect the comm, which is actually dropping hit points. He said, did not actually hit the gunships? Oh, no, they didn't. Looks like they killed off a couple of them, but Obliih might actually lose his comm. He won't be out of the game just yet, especially him being the highest rated player. He definitely probably won't just immediately give everything else over to his teammates. At least you wouldn't expect that. We do see some Harbingers moving into intercept. Does he see them? I don't know that he... Nah, they are on vision and radar. Problem is they are intercepting that comm. I don't think there's anything he can do. Overcharge might help a little bit. He comes within line of sight. Overcharge kills off one Harbinger. Almost enough to get a veterancy. He definitely would have maybe survived if it was because of that. Two more shots. There it is. Team 2 does lose the first comm of the game of ObliiLaCybrance to a nice little ambush from Team 1. Very much spearheaded by the gunships, just pelting that comm. Gunships took out a couple of mexes down here for Team 2's MSG. Gunships still raiding some now T3 AA emplacements. T3 about to be built on that mix there. And T1's going to get hit. Not really worth the gunships. We have AA kind of starting to be sprinkled a little bit around this side of the map for Clinch. Looks like he has... Oh, and then Team 1 loses Psychoad to the same kind of tactic that Team 1 employed, but just broadswords and just rip that comm apart real quick, I'd imagine. So you'll see that, of course, in the top right-hand corner there. So there's now, again, comms left alive as 4v4, but everybody is still in the game. We'll track that by the mass income. If somebody's at 0, it's probably not in the game anymore. Doesn't necessarily indicate that. You can still give all your stuff over and do the whole radar ping thing. Or like, oh, I see a thing. Oh, I see a thing. Oh, I see a thing. And if I'm not mistaken, even if you have nothing to your name, I think you can still get stuff transferred back over to you as long as you don't leave the lobby. If you're still in the game, technically, I think you can still get stuff handed back over. Somebody will probably have to either, tell me that one way or the other. I think that's how that works. I would imagine. But, again, I'm not a aficionado on decapitation yet. We've had more and more games pop up as decapitation, so it's helping my knowledge base about how stuff works. But for the most part, it's more of the... maybe the administration managerial part of like, hey, how does this thing work versus the, you're dead kind of thing in regular games. Again, decent. Chunk of mexes were eliminated. They're being rebuilt as we speak. It was a little bit of an annoyance for MSG. Eco is still favoring, but not by much. It's probably going to come down to who pivots to late game first and who can sustain it. You can pivot to it first, but if you can't sustain it, then it doesn't really do you much any good. We do see gunships now, again, going after zwierzak's comm. His shield is not fully repaired. which means it won't activate, which means there he goes. He does get killed off by the gunships. It was technically a control K, but again, they were going to kill him off most likely anyways, so it's not a big deal. Team 1 has lost 2 comms now. It's 3 to 4 comms, not players, left alive. I have to keep telling myself that because I will, again, traditionally it's 3v4, 2v4, whatever the number may be. That's just we know that comms are gone or players are gone, but they're not yet. Everybody's still sticking with it yet, so nobody has a bowed out just yet. We do see Eagle player gets a Yothotha handed over to him, I think, by Obliilacybrance. He's like, hey, I handed it over. He's probably thinking push it in. He has a decent chunk of Percy's. I'd say about a charge or so of Percy's. We have a Fat Boy being built. I wish it wasn't being built here. I wish it was being built at least a little bit further back. You know, you're worried about an attack on the front line. Granted, this land situation isn't really going well for zwierzak, so you can kind of be a little bit more aggressive with the placement. But again, I'm just one of those a little bit more cautious with it because it's going to save you, what, 5-10 seconds? And then explosion on the western side over here. Looks like that was Oblii's comm that got killed off there. So now it's 3v3 comms left alive. And that chicken's going to rip apart that front line for Team 1's Yojih. He's out of there. We have pushing in on the Harbinger side of things from Team 1. And again with the gunships, we've had 4 kills either directly or pretty much indirectly attributed to gunships this game. We had, again, the 2 that were over here. And then we had 1 over here and 1 over here. So by my calculations, either we have another one here or we have a kill over here. That's kind of the only section of the map that's really missing. Or we have a backline kill. One or the other. Harbingers are pretty much being dealt with by Team 1. We have gunships helping out as well. It's going to thin those numbers out quite nicely. We have some Othams as well. Some Othams from Team 1, but not as many. And again, the eastern side is just not looking good for Team 1. We have 2 GCs now online. That's going to help out a ton. And they're still fighting over that plateau. They just will not give it up, is what he's like. Just go away. Just go away, MSG. I want my plateau. And he's like, no, this is my spot. I was here first. I called dibs. He's like, but it's on our side of the map. I'm like, no, I called dibs. As I immediately interrupt what I'm saying to look at the thing that is happening on my screen right now. Clinch going for the UEF does UEF things strategy of satellite. Granted, again, people hate satellites. People love satellites. People are. It's like dual cap. It's like you either love it, you hate it, or you're kind of in the middle about it. I'm in the middle about it just because, again, a lot of satellites is like, okay, it's just a satellite shooting at a shield. It's not really entertaining, but it is a nice utility item as well. It's like, hey, there are dead mexes now. Hey, there's stuff over there. Hey, I have some vision. I can see where the comm is. Like, the utility of the satellite is almost as good as the actual damage that comes from killing off maybe players, but mostly mexes and power and all that other stuff. So you get a lot of utility just from the satellite. Maybe they could make a satellite where you don't get a weapon on it, but you have a better range in terms of vision, or you'd get the weapon and it's a little bit lower visual. I do think that the satellite having Omni on board is, I think, a little bit too overpowered. That's just my opinion on it. Or you just severely reduce the range on it because it's almost about the visual range. I think it's a little bit lower, but it's pretty darn close. Maybe limit it even more. I don't know. I'm not a part of the balance team, of course, so I don't make those calls. So I just, I've had a lot of comments talking about back and forth about, it should be, they're a little OP, and I think some consensus is like maybe just get rid of the Omni, and most people might be happy about that. At least that's kind of the feeling I get. This is concerning though. We have Puck Jr. going after a chicken. It is heavily damaged because of the 2 chickens that came to say hi to it. The lightning ability, the Ion Storm, not going to help out too much for Team 2. He kind of gets out of there before it really engages. Swift Winds from Team 2's Okpuck are inbound. 30 minutes on the clock. We have Advanced Region Ore started for SPCR. And we have Awasa Bomber being started. No big ticket items yet that I've seen. Shields projecting SMDs. Love to see that. Do we have any other SMDs? Nope. Not that they're not being built. I just don't see them actually built. Team 2, SMD, again, satellite right next to it, still being worked on, but it's almost done. And then I think that's the only big-ish thing happening for Team 2, at least in terms of the late game stuff. GC is about to just rip apart the chicken side, but we have, again, a lot of Percy's plus the Fat Boy shooting at the other GC. It is going to help a little bit. It's going to be more of a longer engagement kind of thing where it's like dots, the damage over time effects, where it's just slow ticking away of the HP. Whether, that's going to be helpful here or not. Maybe we have a third GC. It's going to eliminate this one. No, this is the army from Team 2. It's going to be, they need like one more shot. And the Percy, it gets out of range. 500 hit points. The veterancy is what saved. Oh, and it got hit by the spearhead that was being grabbed by. It actually might have been hit by that Percy, but again, it got hit by something that was grabbed by that GC from Team 1. A little bit unfortunate, but there's only so much you can do about that. It was most likely going to die. Going to control K, take the mass from it. So, not a big deal. We do see Team 1 has a little bit more of a pushing back, while this eastern side is looking a little sparse, I should say, for Team 1's eastern front. Gunships kind of run amok here, trying to deal with the invasion from Team 1. Again, the plateaus for both teams just really want to dig in there. They both like it, even though a lot more action is happening over here. Ooh, that's a direct impact. That's not enough to kill it, but barely staying alive. It did die. It looked like it was fine. It had some hit points hit. It must have been a Harbinger or something shot at it and killed it off. That had to have been it. Another bomber is lining up the shot. This would be a good, nice placement there. A little bit further back. It's going after the Fat Boy. It's going to kill off most of those Percys. Some of them underneath the shielding were saved, but I don't think they're going to be saved for much longer. One more bombing run is going to be enough to kill off that Fat Boy. And then there's another one inbound. I would probably target maybe this. There's a lot of engineers here building Ravagers. They are going after, again, those GCs to really rip the hit points apart. Looks like the bomber's not going to go for it. I don't blame him, because there are ASFs waiting. They just are like, he's not, and just know he's going to come over. And look at this. We have on the eastern side of the map, Team 1's zwierzak just now ignoring the plateau and actually going up and over it onto this side of the map. Looks like there was a nice little incursion. Stealth field generator trying to prevent some just passive radar collection, intelligence gathering over there. GC's over here still getting heavily hit by the everything. Do blow a hole in that base. GC dies, gets some veterancy for that Fat Point, and then dies soon after that. I mean, it's a lot of death. That means a lot of reclaim total. It is favoring Team 1, but again, 130 is nothing to slouch out for Team 2 either. Team 2 still in the lead for mass per second. Ooh, he's getting on the transport, and he dies. Oh, that's gotta hurt, because I mean, 2 or 3 seconds faster, he may have been able to get out of there. Maybe the transport was heavily damaged. The AA on the transport might have been enough to just kill him outright, but there it goes. Eco player killed off by the bomber. And then we have Team 1's Puck Jr. killed off by the chicken. So it's just death after death after death, and I kind of was seeing that happen. I went, no, go back in. So that one was caught on screen at least. I was kind of right. My mouse was right over it. And we have gunships inbound for that chicken. So now what is it? 2 comms left for both teams. We have Okpuck over there with MSG over there. And then we have SPCR and we have Yojih over there. Everybody else does not have a comm anymore. Nobody has left. They're still in it. I love to see that. No one's given up without a fight, literally and figuratively and everything else. Second satellite online, and I think number 3 is coming online. And it might be delving into the just build all of the satellites. How many does one person need? And the most popular FAF video on the channel has answered that question and said, not enough. There's never enough for one person to ever have. I think that game had maybe 20-something No, it was closing in on 30 at the end of that match. So many satellites that game. Absolutely insane. And that was a long time ago. That was, I think, 100-something, 200-something maybe cast on the channel. We're at 900 plus, which is also insane. That was 2 years ago. Was it 2? Yeah, it was But that math, yeah, that's 2 years ago. Jeez, that's crazy to me. And then I look at some of my old thumbnails, and once in a while hear a clip or two of myself. I'm like, oh, that like my voice and the audio and all that stuff is just insane. And just because of just how better much I think my content is versus that. But constant improvement is hard sometimes, and it's sometimes hard to measure it. But 2-year jump, 1-year jump, 6-month jump sometimes it's easily spottable. Spy planes inbound to get somewhat of a readout. Lots of AA, a decent amount of flak, and that's again, Team 1's been focusing on T2 gunships, not T3s, just because again, Seraphim doesn't have T3 gunships. And ooh, bomber comes in on the side. 5 T3 mechs is dead. I think they were dual ringed. That's again 100 and because it's 27 times 5, which is 125, and then 5 times 2, which is 10. So 135 plus an additional 8 times 5, which is 40. That's a lot of eco. And then we have another set of X's dead. That's probably, I'd say 200 to 300 mass. I'd say at least 250 mass income. And that drops a significant amount of eco for Team 2. Look at that. Team 1 just de facto in the lead. And then gets a third one in there. Oh, that's another loss for Team 2. That's another 100 to 200 jump. And here comes the air grid. Ooh, does he get the headquarters with that as well? He does. Oh, that is a very, very happy purchaser, builder, manufacturer of that bomber. And then another payload. Everybody in this game is being hit. And then we have Puck. Actually, Okpuck just control Ks, it looks like. He doesn't die. He's like, nope, I'm not dealing with it anymore. I'm out of here. His stuff might actually get transferred over to somebody. We shall see. It means that Team 2's last remaining comm is MSG. It is 2v1 in terms of comms. That bomber probably won't survive. It won't kill off the satellites. It'll make an attempt. It will get destroyed, but again, huge, absolutely huge amount of value. And yes, we do see Okpuck did give everything over. I don't know if that means he 100% left, but he did transfer everything over, at least to MSG. So without further evidence to the contrary, he is out of the game. It is technically now a 5v4 in favor for Team 1. I'm calling it there for now. If he has obviously a comment in the chat, then technically he's still in the game, but he's not doing anything actively with units in the game. He might be able to still ping, like I said, but he doesn't have anything to his name as of right now. And that one bombing run has now set the stage for Team 1's T3 artillery. That's going to be about done here in a couple of minutes. That is a huge win for Team 1. One bomber, I mean, boom, 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 and then boom. Just, was that 5 really, really good bombs. Oof. Anyway, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel because, again, why not at this point? I really do appreciate it. It helps the videos be seen by others, so thank you so much. And we have satellites. It looks like they're going after a smidgen of that air grid, a little bit of revenge maybe for Clinch. Because, again, he got hit, I'd say, the second hardest. Again, Okpuck got hit, just a whopping set of mechs is dead. Again, Clinch lost this and the air headquarters and most of that grid. So some would argue it's probably he got hit harder. So it makes sense he would go after SPCR. He's building another bomber. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, he's done decently well with that second bomber. First one wasn't as good, but that second one, 200,000 mass killed at least. Probably 240 by the end of it. So good. But it looks like Okpuck circling the satellites for whatever reason. No idea what he's... So he's still in the game, because that is definitely his, the red colorization for the highlight or the circling, like what I do. It would be a little bit brighter than that, so I think he's still in the game. He's just not directing anything. So technically it's still 5v5, but like I said, he doesn't have anything to his name. I'm talking about Okpuck. Excuse me. He has 1 GC, so yeah, he is technically still in the game. Sitting right there. Another spy plane inbound, or sets of spy planes inbound. They know where stuff is. They're just seeing if there's any other new developments. Team 2, wherever artillery started, again got delayed by everything that got blown up Well played, Eco, says Okpuck. Talking about what? Is that a good protection? Oh, he's talking about over here. Yeah, on that eastern side. And trying to keep that artillery, I think, online is going to be the focus. I would assume both players have thought about artillery and cannot reach the other side of the map, which, yes, it can target one another, just barely. The only problem is for Team 2 specifically, pretty much everything is targetable by that artillery piece. Team 2 on the... Anyway, I'm just going to ignore that for a second. Can hit pretty much everything else. And nice grab here by Clinch. Kills off the entire air grid for Team 1. We'll probably get the headquarters here soon. So both teams just don't have air at this point. But again, at this point in the game, it is transitioned to endgame, T3 artillery, nukes, all that sort of game ender sort of stuff, which again, we see the Mavor. I don't know why you're doing both at this point. It's probably just go big or go home at this point, because again, Team 1 has the artillery online. It is going after the satellites. The shields are going to hold at least a little bit for now. Not going to hold forever. Team 1's probably going to go for a second one. They haven't gone for it yet. They're getting more shields to protect the investment. Love to see that. T3 air quarters is finally being defeated. There it goes. So that back line here for SPCR is getting hit decently hard. That GC... Oh, no. It got transferred over, and he now hasn't. They just keep giving him one unit. It's like, now you have a filter, and it gets transferred over immediately. Like, nope, I don't want to deal with it. And it's sent one unit, So he's like, I just don't want it. Leave me alone. And 3 fat boys on the eastern front. That is a freezer full, and looks like another freezer, or a soon-to-be full freezer. Looks like it's inbound from Eco Player Explosion. That's an SAC on the front line. Most likely either Raspoy or it's a Rambo. Looks like they're Rambos. Usually those are the two that get built the most. Sometimes you get the teleporting ones, but mostly it's the Rambo or the SAC, the RAS, of course. Looks like mexes are being pointed out by Okpuck. Again, he's still in the game. He's providing tactical support. Looks like he was kind of just didn't want to dealing with actually managing anything. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Who knows why he exactly just gave everything over. And some of that's exposed. P-gens do not assist the, again, satellites. Now, if you're doing it for the shields, that's a different thing. This isn't getting adjacency at all, so I don't know why that's next to that. Now the satellite's going to be done here soon. Artillery does get finished. It was damaged at some point. Now they are going for Mavor. Now the only problem I have with this is Team 1 definitely knows that's there. Oh, no, they don't. No, I thought they saw that flying over top, but I guess not. But it's going to take a while to build that. Team 1 is leading Eco. The longer the game goes on, theoretically, the better off Team 1 is. I don't see any other plans for longer range engagements, so actually, if Team 1 doesn't invest in anything else like that, it might actually favor Team 2. And if T2 artillery being built to stop, the Fat Boys actually might be a bigger concern. Once of the 4 Fat Boys are gone, there's another one that's most definitely gonna die. They might be able to save these 2, but that one's gone. It just is. And there's another GC inbound, so maybe even not this one. Maybe, if they're lucky, this one. Not many Percys remain now, and it's just looking bad to worse. The caster here is like, well, maybe they'll save this one. Don't save this one. Maybe they'll save those ones. They're not going to save that one. They might save this one. That might be the only one they save. Maybe. GCs, yeah, they just get ripped apart by the gunships. And the chicken, but mainly the gunships. It's already at 37.5%. It is being worked on. My only question is it worth the mass, though? Because at this point, you could probably already have a second T3 artillery emplacement that could be targeting the one T3 artillery emplacement for Team 1. It's now becoming a mild concern because a lot more of the bases for Team 2 are being shielded, or at least the most important stuff is being shielded, like the satellites and the SMDs and that sort of thing. We're seeing a little bit of clipping for those mass fabs there. That's not very great for Team 2, but it's not terrible. How's the reclaim going, though? That might... 500,000 now for Team 2. That's really helping up of course, the Mavor being built, because 2 players in the lead for eco for Team 2, at least for Reclaim, Obli and MSG, who's building that, and that's over 50%. Now, it is climbing. Again, this is 0+ speed. This is like normal speed, and it's going up pretty quick. But that eastern side is getting chipped away by Team 1. The only thing, honestly, Team 1, all they have to do is just send some GCs and just walk. Just walk that way. Now, they have to deal with this FAF boy. Of course, they're building more FAF boys as we speak. But they can walk along this water, walk over it, through it, under it, and just easily eliminate that. They are targeting the artillery now. It did go wide. Was that outside of the range? I thought that was outside of the range of that artillery emplacement. Oh, it went... Wow, it did go wide. Dang, it landed right here. Anyway, I hear strats somewhere. And that would be probably for Team 2, I'd imagine, because they would... Yeah, they have a headquarters and Team 1 doesn't. We have satellites targeting more mexes and multiple mexes. This section of PGens and looks like other facilities are knocked offline for Team 1's zwierzak. Everybody on Team 1 is still in the game in terms of controlling things. Please don't let Mim enjoy this mass. It's enough to build Mavor, which is ironic because Team 1 doesn't know that Team 2 is building a Mavor right there where they're targeting the artillery emplacement. And they're building more shielding. Love to see the assistance from Obli, even though he's not giving eco, mass or whatever to that Mavor. Providing the shields at a bare minimum helps keep that thing alive longer. So he's indirectly providing eco, so that does alleviate a little bit of the pressure off of MSG to build his own shielding, so he can focus on slightly repairing this, but mainly building this. Some of the AAs being hit, but again, if the GCs from Team... Well, that might be a problem. If MSG is it dies, the game is over for Team 2. Again, that is the... not necessarily false sense of security of this game, but 4 players are still doing stuff for Team 2, but there's only 1 comm left. So if MSG dies, that's the game. Team 1 still has 2, being SPCR and Yojih. So even if they lose 1, they still have 1 more chance to stay in the game. If Team 1 spots that comm, they know they might not know Okpuck is dead, but they do know he's not in the game. Everything transferred over to the western side for MSG so he can focus on the Mavor, I'd imagine, and give him a little bit more eco to play with. Because that thing is about to finish. But guess what's inbound? And he's definitely seen that. There's no way, there's no way he hasn't. Does Team 1 have any idea? They have, they see the AA. They have to have some idea that he's there. Something about, not file more Lamasse? I have no idea what that means. It looks like it was French. Maybe. But that GC is inbound. Are they building PD on the... Nope. They might build it after the Mavor stand. It is almost there. 7,600 and climbing. Team 1 still only... Oh, no, they started a second one. Look at that. Started a second artillery emplacement. I still don't see anything else from Team 1 in terms of long-range stuff. Not even a nuke. No other artillery being built. Nothing. They're still engaged in that western front. Keeping that busy. We have the eastern front. Looks like the Fat Boy is trying to close in. That GC is inbound. Unless Team 2 builds PD defenses, the building T1, it'll help, but it might be too late. Because they've definitely seen that one. They just haven't... they see the radar signatures, but again, they might think it's... Maybe they just forgot about it, maybe? I don't know. They see the second one. The second one actually goes, oh, okay, I'll go after the Fat Boy. And bomber lands, kills off a ton of Ravagers. It might open the door for some land invasions, but here comes the Ravager built now from Team 2. MSG is just going to spam build that thing. That is the targets. Team 1, again, still is not aware of it. They think it's just the artillery. And it is heavily damaged, that GC. He's going to go after the PGens. You got to keep moving. You might not see that. Oh, it's right there. Look at that. He's within range almost of seeing the thing. He walks a little bit further. How is that? How is that not destroying that? Oh, because of the shield. I was like, what is going on? Targets the... Oh, he hits it. Grabs the artillery. But the Mavor is right there. PGens are going to blow up. There goes a decent chunk of engineers. He grabs the Mavor. Is it enough? It is enough. And there it goes. It gets maybe 1 or 2 shots off. And the Mavor has been defeated by that one little GC. Mavor is dead, says Psychoed. He saw it and deleted it. And SSU dies in the front line over there to that middle there. And Awasa Bomber, don't know what it's doing. It's going to kill off some Nexus, I guess. Okay, that's not bad. 72,000 mass killed. Goes up to 97 and then actually gets out of there. So, hey, look at that. But Mavor and the artillery, the other T3 is gone. The GC does not get out of there, but, you know, it did its job. Still has these 6 satellites to deal with, though, so there is that. We had a Mavor, or they did. Okay. He's like, what? He was like, I'm not aware of any of that. Oh, that he is French. Okay, that's definitely what that is. Unless it's some other, maybe dialect of French. I have no idea, but it looks French. Same May. I think it was mine, I think is what it meant. I mean, I don't know. I'm just roughly getting the gist, I think, from it. 49 minutes on the clock, though. Without that Mavor, I just don't think Team 2 has enough now. We have 2 artillery emplacements online. Most of everything else on Team 2 is, again, within range. GC coming to say hi. I mean, the Fat Boys have been great for Team 2 on that eastern front, but they're just getting bulldozed, and you can just see the population of just items on the front line for Team 2. Not looking good, and now we see the second biggest target to deal with now, considering, again, Team 1 was aware of this, not aware of this. That is now the biggest target, and the shields are falling. Actually, Fat Boys are being... No, that's... Again, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. 1 settlement is down, 5 remain. Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter at this point what you choose to do, because it's all going to blow up. That GC is going to die. They're chasing down that Fat Boy. This is the bigger target. Artillery might be dealing with it. Eco player says GG. And that's definitely GG at this point for Team 1. Very close game. Looks like Obli transferred everything over to somebody else, and now he doesn't have anything controlling. 5v3 now, at least in terms of active controlling stuff. Another satellite is down. Another satellite is down. Another satellite. Oh! Gets the shield online, and the replay is over. I would imagine, I think maybe it goes on for a little bit more, I'd imagine, but I don't think much would exist past this point. Yeah, I have noticed sometimes that if you go to the replay vaults from the FAF launcher, sometimes the match doesn't go to the very end. It kind of loses about the last minute. The game this game was crazy. That game that happened somewhat about a week ago or whatever it was. That was an example of somebody sent that to me because it lost like the last minute, and that last minute made a big difference. But in this game, the last minute maybe would not going to make a difference. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Team 1 wins the game. It is not a flawless victory in the sense that every comm was alive at the end of it, but everybody was still in it. And again, we did see some comments by Okpuck, just circling and whatnot. And then Obli, I mean, such a late handing over. I'd imagine he would have stuck with it to the end at that point. I mean, you're already 7 minutes in. Might as well stay to the end, especially because it's going downhill. MVPs for me: the Bomber from Team 1's SPCR, and then the GC from zwierzak, I think, were the 2 most important units of that game, because 200,000+ mass killed from the Bomber, and most of that was either mexes or PGens/air grid. That was devastating eco for Team 2 to lose. And then, of course, that one GC that just went do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, and then blew stuff up. That, I mean, it really helped, because Team 1 had no idea they were building a Mavor, and it was even commented about, like, oh, this mass would be great for them to make a Mavor with, kind of thing. And they were literally doing that. So, nice luck of the draw there, I guess. Again, they were going for the T3, and they ended up killing off a T4. So, hey, 2-for-1 combo. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one.